Is everyone's body built the same except for their gender? Not really. Check to see if any of the following organs exist in your body. If they do, you're destined to be a laggard on the evolutionary path. The palmaris longus. Lay your arm flat on the table, palm facing up, and pinch your pinky with your thumb. If there's a long muscle bulge in your arm, then you also have one of the characteristics of a monkey, the palmaris longus muscle. If you don't, congratulations, you're at the forefront of the evolutionary process. But don't get too excited if you don't have the palmaris longus. It's not necessarily a good thing to get rid of an ancestral trait too soon. Because our ancestors used to use their palmaris longus muscles to climb trees and move around with ease. If you lose your palmaris longus, it means that you can't climb as well as someone who has the palmaris longus, and even have less strength in your hands. According to statistics, 15% of the world's population has abandoned the palmaris longus. In Asia, 25% of the population has abandoned the palmaris longus, the auricular muscles. Anyone who can move their ears on the TV screen is either a great athlete or gifted. But you know what? In reality, many people's ears can also move. Those who can move their ears have one more muscle than normal, the auricularis muscle. Oh what? What is the purpose of the auricularis muscle? Ancestors used it to hear their enemies, and determine their distance and location. Nowadays, the auricularis muscle has been reduced to a useless muscle. It no longer serves the purpose of localization. If it's used at all, it's used to be cute. It is estimated that less than 10% of the world's population still has the auricularis muscle. The wisdom teeth. If the first two organs are dispensable. The presence of wisdom teeth. The wisdom teeth is absolutely horrifying. Apart from causing excruciating pain, they are useless. Why did our ancestors have wisdom teeth? It's because they ate a lot of raw meat and needed more teeth to help them chew. Of course, our ancestors' wisdom teeth were standardized. They were aligned on the arch. They weren't lopsided. And they didn't fit in the middle of each other. So there was no pain. But nowadays, humans have long since abandoned the habit of eating raw meat, no longer need many teeth. So the upper and lower jaws have been drastically reduced. And the dental arches have shrunk dramatically. And as man's intelligence grew, his brain grew. And the brain is growing bigger and bigger. And it's squeezing the space between the upper and lower jaws, making them smaller and smaller. This creates a positive feedback. So the wisdom teeth lose their space. And they don't want to disappear. So they're trying to pop up and squeeze the other teeth. And that creates a lot of pain. There are still a lot of people around the world who have wisdom teeth. The above three organs, some people still have them and some people have lost them. But the two I'm going to describe are still present in everyone. The erector spinae muscle. It has no effect on us except to produce goosebumps. However, our ancestors' hairy muscles were different. They were able to maintain their body temperature by blowing up their fur like parrots. Or like a cat, they can make themselves look stronger to keep their enemies at bay. Speaking of hairy muscles, we have to talk about human hair. Ever since human beings wore clothes, they stopped using hair to maintain body temperature. So, the god of evolution decided to abandon hair. So human hair became less and less. Maybe in a few thousand years, we'll be complete. Maybe in a few thousand years, we'll be complete. Maybe in a few thousand years, we'll be complete. Completely bald. The toes. As the most awkward part of the body, they've lost their gripping function. It's not even necessary for decoration. Because who would be bored enough to admire your big feet? That's why shoe and sock manufacturers don't even bother to design separate finger cuts for them. Scientists have done research. They compared human toes from different time periods. And found that their length was shrinking rapidly. So they made a bold projection. Around 2521 AD, the first human beings will lose their toes. The theory of evolution tells us that useful traits are retained permanently and evolve forward. The useless traits will be ruthlessly eliminated. So, a big bare head and big feet with no toes will be the standard for the future of mankind. If you were a future person, would you be able to accept such a self?